Hey there, welcome to GemiiToys. Here we are once again for another comparison video, as it's been a while and they're lots of fun to do. And we're going to be taking a look this time at two great Iron Man figures, the clean Mark 85 and the battle damage Mark 85. Thought it would be fun, and remember to subscribe if you haven't already, so you don't miss out on any future content coming up on the channel. So yeah, it's been a while since I've done a comparison video. As mentioned, they are fun to do, and these two pieces have been out for a while. I've had them for a while, and I've definitely had plenty of time to process my thoughts and share them with you guys. So yeah, we're gonna be taking a look, as we usually do here with comparison videos, at all the accessories side by side, the two pieces, meaning the two figures, the clean Iron Man Mark 85 of Avengers Endgame, and the battle damaged Mark 85 of Avengers Endgame as well. In this case, it's the special edition, as that's the one I was able to get. Comparing, of course, the head sculpts. Everything's going to be in real depth, so you know, sit back and relax. It's going to be a very tedious comparison. You guys seem to enjoy watching my comparison videos, so, and I enjoy making them, so this is why, either though the hype of this figure is way gone or over, maybe there's still kind of some hype going on. Maybe Sideshow is still shipping them out, some pre-orders. I don't know. Yeah. And as usual, we have our guests, which are the replacement head. Instead of the Tony Stank head, we have this Tony Stark head, and then the battle damage Stank head, Max Newton. We'll get into that a little bit later, but first we're gonna start with the boxes, comparing those. So here's the clean Mark 85 box. Real nice, real clean. And here we have the battle damage. It's a very similar image. In fact, it's the same image reversed, I think, and does add that silhouette of Tony Stark, I am Iron Man for pose. Yeah, real nice. Like I said, very similar. Hard cardboard. The backs look very similar as well, only the battle damage does have lots of Iron Man suits all around the box. Here are the sides, so you guys can see, and then this foam insert. My battle damage is a little bit damaged. It didn't come like that. It's just, I guess it's appropriate. We got the tops. The battle damage is a little more purplish, kind of more wine color, I want to say. Slightly different, but definitely the same hard cardboard box. And I love both very much. Really like these two boxes. So yeah, it's a draw for me. They're just way too similar to just have one stand out. Yeah, I guess the battle damage stands out a little bit more, but I like the clean as well. So here's inside the boxes. This is the way the figures would ship to you once you remove out the foam and this lid, I want to call. Just kind of showcasing here what both look like when you first receive them. It's very exciting. And removing, or I should say sliding out this bottom tray, this is, you would have the manuals, and then the special edition, the only difference is really this plastic shield. It's not a big deal. As I said in my review, it's very cheap plastic, and it actually goes much better with your clean one. So we're going on to the figures here. This is where the competition starts. So Let's take a look at the accessories first here. And we have each one of these guys in their respective corner. We're going to get really into detail. The hands, the nano gauntlet, this neck piece you can see here, and the lightning refocuser. I was never crazy about the detail there in the middle. Looked cheap plastic. But overall, it's a nice piece. And then these are the accessories you would get with the battle damage. As you can see, even the hands are quite more worn. And then, of course, the nano gauntlet comes with these two extra hands, the articulated hand and the two non-articulated to do the pre-snap and post-snap, or snapping. And then this energy blade goes, again, these accessories, like these, what do you call these, lobster claws? I'm not sure, I forgot. Claw blasters, I believe. Yeah, and this shield, if you get the special edition, these accessories go better with the clean, and they're all clean. The hands, as well as the nano gauntlet with the two hands, have battle damage, or, you know, kind of some weathering, high level weathering. Same hands, basically, except for the nano gauntlet. And then taking a look here at the lightning refocuser, if I can say that right. That's how it would connect to the back of the figure. And these lobster claws, or claw blasters, taking a closer look here since I didn't really show them properly in my review. So anyways, here we are taking a look at the hands and the neck pieces. Like I said, really in-depth look. As you can see, you get two articulated fingered hands and the two kind of repulsing blaster, and then two neck pieces for the clean version, which is kind of interesting. It's got this gold paint application, and either though it's kind of, the neck is kind of higher on the battle damage, you can see there at the top there. This is for the clean one as well. It doesn't have that gold detail. Thought it was kind of interesting to show. And all of them have a magnet. These are all interchangeable between both figures. And yeah. So yeah, very close, but I'm gonna give this to the battle damage. It's just, I prefer the energy blade and those claw blasters actually to go with the clean version, but they go very well with the battle damage as well. So here I exchanged the chest plate. This guy looks battle damage, doesn't he? Chest plate and neck piece, actually. And wait a minute, nano gauntlet, yeah. Yeah, so this is a clean nano gauntlet, the clean chest piece, and the neck piece as well to go. I always thought it was kind of interesting. You see, this neck piece should be, if he's going to have a helmet on, it should be that shorter neck piece, which is why I did this. And then we got the lightning refocuser on the battle damage version, just to show you guys basically everything can be interchanged. So, and like I mentioned, this is a great look for the clean version. These two claw blasters. And then he does come with a lightning refocuser. So I bet you in that previous image you could barely tell which one is the battle damage and which one is the clean. I think that was kind of one of the points I was trying to make. Because the chest plate does it a lot. This is fully clean, of course. But this looks great. And then here, taking a look at this back piece, is how I want to call it. It does have some slight weathering, as you can see there on the battle damage. You can tell everything battle damage is always going to be on the right. And yeah, both can be removed, and that's where your battery compartment is, and you can plug in that lightning refocuser or backpack, whatever you want to call it. And this is another great look for your clean Iron Man. If you get the Battle Damage Special Edition, this accessory looks nice. It doesn't feel nice, again, cheap plastic. But it looks pretty good, to be fair. I wouldn't go out of my way to get the special edition just for this accessory, but it's nice to have. Again, I'm repeating myself, but especially for your clean one, as well as that energy blade goes very well with that. So we are moving on here to the bases. This is the base that comes with the clean version. It goes with the rest of the line of Endgame. And here we have the battle damage, more of a diorama type of base. It's not too terribly detailed, I want to say. Not very well detailed, but it does have some dry paint application, dry brush paint application, I want to say. But yeah, to me this is a no-brainer. I do prefer diorama bases, so as much as I do like the hexagonal base, I'm going to give this to the battle damage 85. So 2 points go to the battle damage. 0 is of now for the clean. And we're taking a look at the figures next. Taking a look at them side by side. This is what they look like. Some slight weathering on the clean version and lots of weathering on the battle damage. There's some, these are the colors, I want to say, are a little bit more yellowish and reddish. Here we have a little more faded gold, not yellow but gold and red, as it should be, as it's battle damaged. But taking a look at all that battle damage, the little nicks or weathering on the clean, so you guys can draw your own conclusions. Which look do you prefer if you're trying to pick one of these two? I'll share what I decided to do at the end of the video, but I really like both pieces. There's no question. One is more of a standard Iron Man. I'm referring to this one here, clean, and then battle damage here, not so standard. I think it's a little more unique. It's also worth mentioning that on the back here, as you can see, there's barely any battle damage on the battle damage, just weathering, but I think these images speak for themselves. Some little nicks on the clean, and you know, some dark areas on the hands, thighs, and then of course most of the battle damage is on the top of the legs and chest, shoulders. Even the helmets are slightly different, which we'll get into that in a little bit here. But yeah, the gold is a little more faded, especially here. You can see on the arm all that battle damage. Battle damage does look a little cheap. It could have been better, more detail. I don't know. My expectations from Hot Toys are really high these days, and most people. So I mean, it looks really nice, but it could have been more detailed, like the prototype. That battle damage just a little more HD, I want to say, more defined. So looking at these two pieces side by side, because the battle damage does look slightly cheap on the battle damage, I'm gonna give this to the clean. It's just more of a standard Iron Man figure, and more multi-purpose, just more yeah, more iconic, I want to say. Well, not iconic because battle damage is iconic, but standard is the best way to say it. But looking here at the helmets, I'm just showing you guys how they're slightly different. I took off this top, I want to call dome area. You can see the battle damage does have darker areas and more weathering. So Yeah, the clean, what I was trying to say is it's more signature Iron Man, especially wearing the helmet. It depends on what you are planning to use your Iron Man figure for. If you're going to have him wearing this helmet, which by the way, these two lights, I'm embarrassed to say this, but I didn't realize those two lights on the back of the helmet until a few months ago. I've had the battle damage several months now, and of course, well over a year, the clean, over a year and a half. And yeah, I didn't realize those two lights in the back of the helmet. But then I barely ever use that light up feature. It's a gimmick. But yeah, if you're gonna have your Iron Man wearing the helmet, clean is definitely more signature. You can see here, battle damage, the gold is slightly more faded, I want to say. I don't know if the camera is picking it up, but definitely in person you can see the clean one, the gold, the face is just more gold. So we're moving on to head sculpt. So introducing the head sculpt section, this is the beloved Mark 50 head sculpt. Actually, that was a head sculpt from quite a few figures. And then we got this Tony Stank head sculpt. It's a little bit out of focus, but you know, it's probably for the best. Yeah, and then I got two here. I'm just showing you guys. I did get two because I wanted to replace one and just keep one. So I ended up getting two, and no, it's not double vision here. Feels like it, but yeah, I wanted to make sure I had both. So this is a replacement head sculpt next to the Tony Stank head that came originally with this figure. And then taking a look at the Tony Stank next to the battle damage version, you can see it's a quite kind of similar head sculpt. It's basically based on the Tony Stank more, but there's something, gosh, I called it Sweet Old Man, the Tony Stank, in my review over whenever that was, over a year and a half ago. And you can see even here the hair length on the back. I'm going to show you all these heads next to each other. But yeah, that Mark 50 head, I always preferred it, and this replacement head, here I'm showing next to the battle damage, is basically that Mark 50 head, previously Mark 46 and Mark 47, but they reused that head a lot because it's a great head. But the first time I ever had it was a Mark 50 Infinity War. Love it, and I had to get this replacement head instead of the Tony Stank, of course. But yeah, looking at those two look great. Those are my two favorite heads. And here we're looking at Tony Stank, Tony Stark Clean, Tony Stark Battle Damage, and Max Snoot. Many people say looks like he's taking a dump. I'm starting to feel that way myself. I was really fascinated with that head, but not so much anymore. So Tony Stank, Tony Stark Clean. Love this head. Again, very similar to that Mark 50 head. That's why I had to have it. Here's the Battle Damage Mark 85. And then, yeah, once I got this Battle Damage Mark 85, this Max Snoot head is not looking so great anymore. So, yeah, I'm going to move on that head. But here, taking a look at all the heads together profile. So you guys can see their profiles. They pretty much look like the same person except for the Max Snoot, I think. The expression on that one is really expressive. I was really fascinated with it, but I lost that fascination, I gotta say. I don't think it's so great anymore. But my two favorites, again, in the middle. There you can see the profiles. And the profile of the Tony Stank doesn't look so bad. And then here you can see the Tony Stank next to the Tony Stark. A little longer hair. I do like that longer. It's not really longer hair, but it just goes lower. I do prefer that look. And I do like on the Max Snoot how that looks quite a bit. The back. And yeah. So definitely, when it comes to heads, this goes to the battle damage. It's my favorite head. So near, so close though to the clean. But since it's a new head, and yeah, again, we're taking a look here at this not so new head, but this head here, it's not really a new head. It's the Mark 50 again. Previously was Mark 46, Mark 47, you know. But yeah, it's a no-brainer there, which is better. I'm showing you here what they look like on with the armor. So here's kind of doing the battle damage look, even though this is not the battle damage, but just to compare what these two heads look like on the armors. Looks a little better to me here, but I don't know, it lost something. It didn't age very well for me, at least in comparison next to especially the Hot Toys battle damaged one. But I think I made it pretty clear. You know, my two favorites are the replacement head and the battle damage, and this is why I'm showing them here. If you can get the replacement head with the figure, I don't know if I would vote this one is the best head. I mean, it's really close. I'm basing it on how I received my figure, which was with the Tony Stank head. So yeah, the point definitely goes to the battle damage, and this is how it's going to conclude. You know, this is 1 point to clean, 3 to battle damage. You may disagree, it's just my opinion, but battle damage is my preferred of these two, and I'll tell you guys why. Because when I had my clean with this head, as you can see here, I wanted to utilize this head, and comes with the clean nano gauntlet, so I ended up posing my figure most of the time in the I am Iron Man pose. So I thought, well, you know, I need the battle damage, and that's the pose I prefer, so this is my ultimate representation of Iron Man, like this, or on his knees. This is why this is my preferred of the two, and the only one I need. But this would make a great, if you choose to get both, this is a great display. I am Iron Man, and then the suit, the more standard signature Iron Man, could be in the background like that. But if you want a standard signature Iron Man, very comic look, very comic book like, the clean is for you. If you want to do the I am Iron Man pose, and that's the main thing you want to represent, the battle damage is the preferred one. And that's why it's the preferred one for me. So that's going to conclude this video. Hope you guys enjoyed this comparison, and maybe it helps you decide between one of these two pieces. And as I always say, subscribe, like, and comment. Enjoy the path of collecting, and I'll catch you guys next time.